I got nothing. We're going to just hop right into the stories today. Today's stories are tales from tech support. First story is from username Turbo Jelly. One-sided drama. I work as an IT tech for a local council who provides support to schools in the area. I've been working for them for a few years now, and while I was based at one site, I moved to the current site this year. I have been to the current site before to cover a coworker's holiday and worked on an ongoing issue here. The issue with the drama room's interactive screen. It would only play sound out of one side. As stated, I've been here before, so I already had a go at fixing it, as well as the other two usual techs. At one point, the board's tech were called in to look and stated that they would need to take the board off the wall to troubleshoot. Yesterday, I decided to have a fresh go at it. Started going through standard troubleshooting. Snugging and hugging in cables, verifying that sound output from the board comes out of one channel. Next, I started delving into the board settings, only to find out that the audio options were almost non-existent, until I noticed 3 dots on the channel changer. Clicking it brought up the audio options, and what do I see? Balance is set to max right. Really? Yes, really. I changed the balance setting back to the middle, and there we go. My weird music taste blasting out of both speakers. All the hours wasted troubleshooting this board, internet searches, discussions on Teams, and outside text. In the end, all it took was a fresh set of eyes and one setting change. I am both proud of myself for fixing it and deeply ashamed for not spotting it before. TLDR, I can hear, I'm going deaf. So, this one is so funny to me, and one of the reasons why when fixing things, I always start with the most basic of basic things first. Turn it on and off again. Did I check the settings? Is this connected? Is a certain thing plugged in? Go through all the most basic stuff before you get to the more involved stuff, because if it's a simpler problem, I'd rather find that and fix it first. But if it's more in depth, then we know that all the simpler things was out of the way first. So, hope that helps. Next story. This is from Joe Don Fan, impromptu tech support at the bar. This may not exactly qualify as tech support, but I'll give it a shot. I'll state I've been working in tech support since the mid-80s, so I've used some valuable skills, mainly BSing a client. In this situation, the scene, a crowded bar, a good friend was dating the owner, so I went with her to his bar to watch the Super Bowl. At the time, this was one of the few bars with a big screen TV, so the bar, while smaller and a little out of the way, was a bit more overcrowded than usual, but not mind-numbingly overfilled like darn near any bar is on Super Bowl Sunday. As it was, some idiot got hold of the only remote and kept messing with the volume. Up, down, too loud, too soft, he just couldn't control it. The beer was flowing and everyone was getting angrier and angrier at this guy. To the point I think someone, not me, was going to throw him out the window. Fortunately, the time came when the beers took their effects and the guy put the remote down to head to the bathroom. The bar breathed a sigh of relief when a thought came to me. I picked up the remote, adjusted the volume to something reasonable, took out the batteries, put them in my pocket, and put the remote back down. I think the bar realized what was happening because the chatter seemed to pick up a bit as he returned from the head. After a few moments, he picked up the remote, pointed it at the TV, and was clearly pushing a button. It came time to BS him. "Perfect," I yelled out after a moment or two, and he put the remote down. 5 minutes or so later, he picked it up again and started pushing a button, and someone else had caught on. "Perfect," someone else yelled. This went on for the rest of the game, with eventually darn near the entire bar yelling perfect after this guy picked up the remote. I returned the batteries to the bar owner sometime in the fourth quarter. And to add, by BSing a client, I don't mean lie to them. I mean play a little fast and loose with the truth to tell them what they want to hear while doing what absolutely needs to be done to get the issue fixed. So, I included this story, but as I was reading through it, I was just like, this sounds like a, and then everybody clapped. This is, if a patron in a very small bar, like, I've been to some very small bars. I've been to, where I live, there's one nearby where, like, you know, it's not like a one-room hole in the wall, but, like, it's like a two-room country bar, okay? If someone picks up the remote and starts messing with the settings on the TV and stuff, the waitresses, the waiters, the bartenders, the owner, someone's going to go and snatch that remote from him. They're not just going to let this go on to the point where it's affecting the other people. Like, that just doesn't sound right to me. So, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. Next story. This is by New Swan 3276. That's not my son's laptop. Years ago, I had a college student bring his laptop by for repairs. Keyboard stopped working, according to him, and he had no idea what the cause could be. After he left, I quickly surmised that someone spilled a sugary beverage on it, so I contacted tech support for the model. Let's say it was HP. And they quickly placed an order for a replacement part. During the call, support also mentioned that a previous support call was made on this laptop for, you guessed it, a spilled soft drink. Noting that information, I proceeded with the order and, when the part arrived, swapped out the keyboard. After verifying that the laptop was functioning properly, I contacted the customer to pick it up. I left it running on the repair table and moved on to other tickets. The following morning, I noticed that the screen was blank and decided to tap the keys to awaken it. Nothing happened. Listened and could hear cooling fan running, so I cycled the power. Power's back on, except the screen is still blank. I reached out to the customer to tell them the situation and see how they wish to proceed. Here is when Dad, a local attorney and expert radio and TV commentator, gets involved. He starts cussing at me and threatening me with a lawsuit if I don't repair his son's computer. I calmly inform him that no, I will do no such thing for a previously damaged computer. Incredulous, he accuses me of lying about that previous damage to cover my butt for negligence. That's when I inform him of the conversation I had with HP. Now, I had him dead to rights, but this is where I was surprised. After his brain audibly glitches, he says, "WTF are you talking about HP? My son owns a Dell." My response was that clearly there's some misunderstanding here on your part because I'm looking at an HP, not a Dell. No apologies, nothing comes from Mr. Attorney. Instead, he sends the kid to come get the laptop and pay the bill. I had to know just what the heck happened. So, when the kid shows up, I ask. He sheepishly admits that he had his frat bro's laptop because frat bro had broken the kid's Dell laptop and given the kid his HP laptop. Guess frat bro never mentioned spilling a Coke on the HP, and this kid figured his parents would be none the wiser. To this day, Mr. Attorney is on TV radio to offer his opinions on whatever legal case is in the news, and I chuckle every time I see or hear him. This last one, don't try to trick tech support. If you've had previous damage, they're gonna know. They're gonna find out. Secondly, this sounds like you know, they did say frat bros, so this is definitely like college age kids. So college age people, okay, don't try to trick your parents with stuff like this. 8 times out of 10, your parents have tried to do something way worse. Children were much more unsupervised at the time that your parents grew up. Okay, they were able to do some, you know, get away with more things, and not have any documentation about it. That's all I'm going to say. So, thank you so much for joining me again for today's stories. Again, my name is Kelly. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.